The Nigerian Senate has concluded its emergency plenary with a major amendment to the 2027 election timeline and a decisive vote on the controversial electronic transmission proviso. Meeting in the Committee of the Whole, the upper chamber successfully amended Clause 28 of the Electoral Act 2026, reducing the mandatory notice period for elections from 360 days to 300 days. The adjustment is aimed at preventing the 2027 general elections from coinciding with the holy month of Ramadan and Lent period. The session, however, turned volatile during the consideration of Clause 60, subsection 3, as lawmakers clashed over the backup plan for result transmission. Despite intense opposition and a formal demand for a division by lawmaker Enyinnaya Abaribe, the Senate maintained the proviso allowing for manual collation should electronic transmission fail. The decision followed a rare head count and individual voting process which saw the majority overwhelm the opposition's push for mandatory e-transmission.
Senate equally notes that upon further critical review of the bill as passed, it has been observed that a 360 days notice requirement prescribed in Clause 28 may result in the scheduling of the 2027 presidential and national assembly election within the period of Ramadan. If the essence of his call for division is for him or any other person, with due respect, who wants Nigerians to see where he stands, or who especially wants his political party to see where he stands, let it be so. Now, we are not doing anything here based on emotions or sentiment.
Yes.
We are not doing anything here because we want people to clap for us. We are here doing things in overriding public interest.
Point of order by the leader sustained. I have stated time without number. The last time Senator Abaribe withdrew his call for division, he was attacked on the social media. He has a right. Yes, it's an opportunity for him to correct it. So what Senator Abaribe is asking for, Senator Plan, what Senator Abaribe is asking for is that he would like to be seen there in the social media.
Mr. President, that is not true. I am talking for Nigerians, not from Senator Abaribe. I want Nigerians to know. I want Nigerians to know.
Okay, Senator. Okay, so Senator Abaribe. Senator Vito, man, don't distract Senator Abaribe. He's on a very important national assignment, and the social media is watching. So now, move your motion.
Mr. President,
he wants to move a motion for division. If he's not moving a motion for division, then go into
Mr.
the order,
President,
and I'll rule.
Order 72. 1. Any senator may challenge the opinion of the president by claiming a division. So I'm calling for a division.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Point of order by Senator Abaribe, calling for a division on the provision of yes.
Sound. How are you?
He's calling for a division on the section
63 proviso. To remove
gives
the proviso.
the presiding officer. So if you are in support that the proviso, which enables the presiding officer to proceed to the next center for collation with the hard copy of the signed form EC8A, so that collation can continue. If you are in support that the word proviso remains to enable the presiding officer to do so after the after imputing all the items. Can you rise and raise your hand so that the public can see you? Come and count. Come and count. Sorry. Sergeant at arms, count. Only raise your hand. Don't open your mouth. Raise your hand. Stand up, raise your hand. Don't open your mouth so that the public can see you. Because the social media must see you. I said you should, wherever you are, stand up and be counted. The results are as follows. Those who do not want any proviso are 15 in number. And those who want the proviso are 55 in number. And so the proviso says.
Interesting times, you might say, at the Senate's chamber today. Well, yeah, Sagir Ibrahim was in that chamber, and he's here in the studio with me right now. Sagir.
Yes, sir.
Were you laughing or smiling like this when you're in the chamber?
Well, yes, sir. First of all, it's not a laughing matter. I do not think that Nigerians were laughing as well, because quite a number of them were outside of the entrance of the National Assembly, chanting and demanding for one of the clauses that, or one phrase that seems to be, or that seemed to have become the most popular in Nigeria over the course of the last few weeks, and that is real time. The expectation that the lawmakers, will add the phrase real time in section clause 60 sub 3 of the Electoral Act to capture for the real-time transmission of results, and also to make it mandatory that real-time transmission of results becomes the only means of transmitting results, from the polling unit, and of course to the IREF portal when voting is done, and of course collation process has commenced. But then the Senate, in their own wisdom, has made the decision which, in their own interest, in their own wisdom, like I mentioned, seem to be what's in the best interest of Nigeria. So here we are. What
the Senate did today was what was done before. Besides the reduction in the timeline from 360 to 300, every other thing stayed the same. So there will be that thing about why even bother coming to sit for a plenary? Why not allow the unifying, because there's a committee that's supposed to...
Conference and Harmonization Committee.
The Harmonization Committee. Why not allow the Harmonization Committee to handle that bit about reduction in time?
Well, it could be as a result of the fact that once the Harmonization and Conference Committee has been set up, the expectation is not for them to add anything to the draft bill, but rather it's an issue of selecting or adopting one for the other. So the House of Representatives has drafted its own copy. The Senate has drafted its own copy and passed that copy. The responsibility of the Harmonization Committee is to look at these copies and decide which clause goes for which clause. So in the case of the clause 60 sub 3, it's for the House of the Harmonization Committee to look at what the House has passed and look at what the Senate has passed and decide which of them go, but not a situation where they add to the document. They cannot add to the document. If there was an opportunity to add, perhaps it could have been in this committee of a whole review that we saw now.
I wrote something down here. I said Senate President romance with the social media. I mean, he talked about the social media out there, how the social media is watching.
Well, Nyota, I would say it's for them, it's also a matter of justification. So social media has become widely known as the source of information for millions upon millions of Nigerians out there. Of course, most get information from the traditional media, but especially young Nigerians get from the social media. And you would agree with me that the social media was agog just last week when Senator Enyinnaya Abaribe from Abia State had exactly. So he had declared the division and then he withdrew that statement. So I think for him, it was a matter of trying to prove himself and to follow through with an earlier decision that he wasn't able to do. We saw him declare the same division, insisting that individually they must vote and identify those who are in support of and who are against. But I mean, in usual fashion, in a situation where the minority continues to bicker, the majority allows for what is supposed to happen, and they have their way. the minority have their say. But in this case now, it's looking like even Nigerians and the Nigerians generally have also been swayed to the side of the minority, because we agree that a large majority of Nigerians, in the interest of the credibility and accountability of INEC in the forthcoming election, wanted for that clause to remain.
Thank you so much, Sagir.